Okay, so hello everyone. Today I had got started with serverless, means what is serverless, what is AWS Lambda, and what is API gateway. I haven't started with API gateway yet, but I will start from tomorrow because one new concept named DynamoDB came into my way, so I stopped learning ahead because DynamoDB requires more concentration than I thought. So anyways, let me tell you that what I learned today is what is serverless. Pretty straightforward. Means we do not deploy on cloud, on literally cloud, right? We deploy on the servers, but the servers are not. We are not able to actually see the servers. So, but the servers are on the uh, service, means on the AWS, of course, offices. So that is serverless, pretty particularly very straightforward, nothing great. Few new concepts I had learned, which I would like to tell you are these functions, AWS Lambda functions. Means we are aware of AWS Lambda functions. We have tested them, deployed them, and we had done few functions projects on them. But the Lambda functions, how many compute we get, how much compute we get, how much time the request can send, how much compute does 1 GB RAM requires, and if we are using 128 GB RAM, then how much compute will be gone there? So how much we get for free, how much compute we get for free, how much GB per second means how much GB of compute we get for free, means how many requests one can do if we are using in AWS Lambda functions, how many concurrent tests we can do constantly, means if I'm creating, let us say I'm creating one project on, like, when I am uploading a resume on S3, and that S3 will create an event. It will trigger the event in AWS Lambda function. That Lambda function will store that resume with few updation to another S3 bucket. And then if I'm doing this kind of following this kind of structure, and I'm constantly adding and uploading the new objects, means new images or new resumes to the this S3 storage, then there will be so many concurrent events happening. So the Lambda will trigger so many times. Now what Lambda function will do? So this kind of structure and this kind of perspective I have developed today, because till now I was aware of that, yeah, Lambda function, we can use Lambda function. So I was my perspective was very narrow, and now it is very broad on the production level stage. I'm able to see. Suppose we have 200 Lambda functions. Now what we will do? Now the if we are storing the database on RDS, and we have AWS Lambda, so many AWS Lambda functions, so many AWS Lambda functions are sending requests to RDS, AWS RDS, which is not robust and feasible, right? The RDS will, of course, miss some functions or triggers. Now, what we will do, how the problem will be solved? So the problem can be solved by using a RDX proxy. So I had compared it with the Nginx proxy. Like Nginx proxy provides us very so many things. Along with proxy, it provides us so many other things like load balancing, and it provides a server on which our website can run, right? So like Nginx, I had compared it with RDX proxy, and I am able to remember what functionalities and facilities RDX proxy provides us. After that, this one thing I would like to share with you, like this path, like this TMP path. Suppose we are uploading the compressed function of AWS Lambda. Our AWS Lambda function will be very small, let us say. But if the functions have so many, if the function have so many nested functions, then the file will be greater than this. Means the file will be greater. Now, if we want to execute that function fast, then what we will do? We will upload it and let the AWS Lambda download the all the code and dependencies. No, of course not. We will leverage this function container so that it will use this temp. It will go to this path and use the code and dependencies, and our code will execute very feasibly and very in very speedy. So this one thing I had learned new, and I had also learned this edge function, which is great. Means the viewer request comes to the CloudFront, and the CloudFront sends the request to the origin. Means let us say it is on US and the CloudFront is on Mumbai. So my request will go to Mumbai, then Mumbai will give me response if it has the cache function, means the Lambda function is cached there, then it will be very great for me. So this one thing I had learned, which is second thing I had learned, which is new. Also, after watching half of the video, I realized that there are three categories of functions, like Lambda functions, formation, cloud, what not formation, this cloud front function, and Lambda at the edge function. Means the Lambda at the edge function is not very usable because it handles very less requests, like thousands of requests per second. Whereas this Lambda functions, this Lambda, this cloud front function, or let us say edge function, provides millions of requests per second. So it is very feasible, and it also provides a whole bunch of memory and all the things. So I would like to go the video to watch the video at. I did not recorded the time interval, but yeah, I would like you to go there and learn about it. And after this one more concept I would like to share with you, that Lambda by default. Now what Lambda by default is, like Lambda will always stay public. Means it has to interact with the S3 bucket, which is public, where the user or client will upload the resume, let us say, according to our project, let us say for now. And after that, this Lambda function will trigger and take the action. So the Lambda function have to be public, so that this this Lambda function is public. Now if we want to make this Lambda function private, then what can we do? So this thing I had learned. I introduced myself with Elastic Network Interface. So if we want to assign the public address and private address to something, to some service or some device or some server, then what we have to do, we have to introduce the network interface for that server or device. So I learned this other thing new for me, and this complete new concept, which is RDS proxy, I had learned. So these four or three to four concepts I have learned, and I was completely unaware of DynamoDB. So I thought to I will continue learning DynamoDB from tomorrow. That's it. I had learned for now, and it's a great. The engineers are doing great, and I am nothing in front of them. So I have to very sharp myself. Like, yeah. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share my journey. And this was day six. And on days, I will share my journey of half of the day six. Means my this video is half watched. Means I will continue watching the DynamoDB, and after that, I will watch one more video on. Uh, I forgot the name of the video, but yeah, I will share tomorrow. So yeah, thank you. Stay tuned. Bye.